I've got another bender ball workout for you today, this time an advanced Pilates workout. If you're just joining me for the first time, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariah, and every week I bring you new yoga, Pilates, and barre workout videos. So if you like free workout videos, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, I'm bringing back another bender ball workout because the other ones that I've done have been, so far, some of the most popular ones. So I'm bringing some new ways to enjoy the bender ball through Pilates style workouts today. I can't wait to see what you think. Let's get started. All right, so taking that ball into the hand now, we're gonna warm up the lower body with some squats, sinking it down low, sending it back up, just finding a range that works for you. And then we're gonna add a little rainbow with that ball. So just handing that ball off from one hand to the other. Asking a little bit of coordination from us right off the bat, but hey, that is what Pilates is all about. We're just doing a little warm up here so that we can have more effective movement through the rest of our practice. Good. Now I want you to come up and pause. We're going to squat and take it up into a leg lift as we rotate. Take that ball towards the hand behind you. Squat back down. Hand that ball off to the other side as you lift the opposite leg and rotate towards it. Got that? Okay, let's keep going. So squat. Rotate towards that lifted leg as you stand. Squat, hand that ball off to the other side, reach that ball back behind you. There are a lot of things going on at once here, so just do your best. We're challenging balance, we're rotating, getting that heart rate going. That's actually pretty impressive if you think about it. Excellent. Maybe one more each side, yeah? Perfect. From here, we're coming into our calf lengthening. So we're gonna hold that ball in front of our chest. We hinge forward into a little lunge. That back leg is long. We're going to lower the heel down towards the ground. We stay hinged forward, and then as we reach that ball forward, we lift the heel back. Bend that ball into the chest as we lower the heel, and then lift it as you lengthen out. Good. The lower that you bend here, the more challenging this is going to feel. You got it. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to pause now at the end of this. So arms are extended out. Reach that ball down towards the ground and then lift it high. Reach it down, maybe tap the ground, lift it up. Do that 2 more times. Back is flat. And giant step up. Whew. Let's see how the other side feels. So we start with that back heel lifted. That ball is in towards the chest. And then as we lower the chest, send that ball towards me and up. Good. You got it. Just finding some length in the back of that calf. The more that you press into that ball, the more you'll get a little bit of upper body engagement and warm up as well. For 3, 2. Now we pause with that ball forward. Reach it down. Maybe you tap the ground and then lift it up to the ceiling. Maybe tap it down to the ground. Lift up. Do that 2 more times, please. And let's come all the way up. Perfect. Moving into our mat work, we're going to come first into our thigh stretch. So we're going to come into a high kneeling position. And if this bothers your knees at all to be in a high kneeling position, you can always roll up the mat a couple of times. If you do have knee issues and this just doesn't feel comfortable for you, this is a pretty intense one on your knees. You can always just fast forward a minute or 2 until we get to our planking. From here, we're going to come into our thigh stretch though. Go ahead and take that ball in front of the chest. The elbows come out to the sides of the shoulders. And then as you lean back, you keep super straight with the hips and send that ball forward. And then exhale, draw it all up as you take the ball in towards the chest. Good. Inhale and lean back, reach that ball forward. Exhale, strong, strong thighs bring you up to the top. So nice. Now you don't need to lean very far back to start to feel this in the front of the thighs. So I just want you to find what works for you. And then again, just making sure that knees are happy with the situation. If not, you can take that range to be a little bit smaller, or you can, like I said, skip it. We just are gonna be here for a couple of moves. Here's 2, and 1. Good, coming to upright. We're now gonna tuck that ball onto the backs of the calves, and then we're gonna come to sit on the ball. So it's kind of like we're sitting on an egg. From here, I want you to lift the hips up only as high as you can come to a diagonal. So we're not actually lifting all the way up with the torso, we're only lifting the hips. Ribs stay where they are, you got it. So it's a little crease in the hips, and then straighten those hips. Bend at the hips, good. So my torso's not really moving much at all. Whew, that's so good. How about 3? Here's 2. 1. Beautiful. We're coming now into a prone position, and this one has definitely a few different layers to it. So let's get set up for it by taking that ball into the right hamstring. So we're gonna start kind of on all fours. As we move our way, we'll kind of have to wiggle our way into a plank position. So from there, yeah, I just want to walk those hands forward, and we gotta hold onto that ball in the right leg. So we're just kind of squeezing that calf in towards the hamstring. You can go ahead and flex into the foot as well. And these are gonna stay parallel though here. So we're just squeezing the heel in towards the seat, and option to stay here or add a little push-up. I know. So maybe inhaling as you take elbows out to the side, exhaling as you rise. Give that ball a little squeeze at the top, and then release the ball as you lower the chest down towards the ground, and then press it back up. You got it. Let's do 3. Remember, these are options. 2. 1, pause here in your plank. Pause, pause, pause. Could you now pull that knee in towards your nose and then send it parallel? 2 more times like that. Exhale as you crunch. Pull it underneath your chest. Last one. Goodness gracious. Let's come on all fours. That feels good to come out of that. Now, as you might have gathered, we did this on one side. We better make that other side feel just as even. So we're going to come from all fours, place that ball behind the left hamstring and left calf. Give it a little squeeze as we walk our weight forward. Do make sure, since we kind of shimmied into this plank, please, that your wrists are right below your shoulders, and that those fingers are spread nice and wide. So belly hugs in towards spine. We're neither lifting nor sagging with those hips. We add that push-up if we choose. Elbows come straight out to the sides of the shoulders, so we're working in the chest and the upper back. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you rise, and maybe a little squeeze into that ball at the top of the push-up. You got it. Inhale, lower. Press that ground away from you and give that ball a squeeze. Good, we've got 3 more. So nice. Whew. Here's 1. Now we're gonna pause here, so upper body stays as is, but we're gonna squeeze the abdominals to draw that left knee in towards the chest, and then take it parallel. Squeeze it back in. You got it. Last time. Perfect. All right, we're gonna come back to all fours now. We're taking that ball between the inner thighs, and we're now staying in that all fours position, so our knees are right under our hips. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck my toes, so those toes are curled underneath me, and I'm maintaining this 90-degree bend in my hips, so I am not in a plank right now. A plank is when we have no bend in the hips. Spreading those fingers wide again, I'm going to pull my belly button up towards my spine, so there's a little bit of a rounding in the middle of the back as I lift the knees only 3 inches off the mat, and tap. Lift and tap. So we're only lifting about 3 inches. More is not better. We're actually kind of leveraging that gravitational pull of keeping the knees low. And I've got another layer if you want it. Next time that you lift those knees, could you give that ball a little squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lower down, lift, squeeze, 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 and so on. So you would continue doing this as long as you feel that you can still maintain good alignment here, that you're keeping a lot of space between the shoulders and the ears. Maybe using that deep audible Pilates exhale to squeeze. Good. It's going to accentuate the deeper core muscles. Make sure you're getting everything out of this experience that you can. And let's do 3, 2. Here's 1. Perfect. We're going to come to lie on our side now. This is a little bit of a doozy, so listen carefully. Ball is going to come between the ankles. Yep, and if at any point you have trouble keeping it between the ankles, you can always take it between the inner thighs, but ankles are going to give us a little bit more challenge today. We're going to prop our head up in our hand, and then both legs squeeze together, but here's the deal. Both legs, as they're squeezing in towards each other, are also going to lift away from the ground. And lower, and lift, and lower. You got it. We're working the side of our waist. We are working the inner thighs. So much at once. Let's keep those shoulders stacked, please. Looking for 3, 2. Now, could you keep those legs lifted? Keep them lifted, lifted, lifted. Just squeeze that bottom one in towards the top like you're going to pop that ball. Perhaps again an exhale as you squeeze. For 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and take that ball out now. You can give those legs a rest for just a moment. And then now we're only going to lift that top leg up and down, up and down. So this top arm absolutely may support us in front, but do make sure that those shoulders stay stacked. Those collarbones are nice and wide. Here's 3. Here's 2. And 1. We're going to press up into a sideways seated position here and just come into a little bit of a mermaid sit. So you can either have the sole of the foot on the opposite thigh, or you can kind of tuck it under. I'm going to now take that ball underneath my hip, and it's pretty low under there. And then from here, I'm going to take my arm out to the side, but I'm going to kind of lift up my fingertips or my palms so that I'm only on my fingertips. This reminds me that the work is primarily coming from the top of my waist as opposed to my arms. My arms are only going to help a little bit as I lower down, and then primarily I'm using the top of my waist to lift me up. I'm just using that arm as a little bit of a training wheel to return to that upright position. Good. Or maybe not completely upright. This is pretty intense. Good. Use your exhale to lift you, your inhale to lower. Both legs stay on the ground, please. You can have that top leg extended now as I'm doing if you'd like, but keep it on the ground, please. Let's do 3, 2. Here's 1. Excellent. We're going to press all the way up into seated. You're going to swing one leg in until you come to a butterfly position. We're going to take that ball now and place it between the feet. Now from here, we've got, if by chance you have 2 bender balls, that's actually my favorite way to do this. You can tuck the other one behind you and kind of turn it into an earthquake ab series. But if you don't have one, if you only have one, you're going to place it between the feet. You're going to start to lean back, and if you don't have the support of that ball, especially, you really want to have those hands propping it up. And then it's going to be a little lift of those legs and pop it back down. Lift, tap it back down. You got it. Now the next time that your legs come up, I want you to just give that ball a little squeeze. Squeeze it in, in, in. It's directly between the soles of the feet. The soles of the feet are trying to touch. For 3, 2, 1. Whew, that'll do it. All right, we're going to side saddle over to the other side. And then extend those legs long. That ball comes between the ankles, or if you found that between the thighs worked better for you, then you can go ahead and take that. We're coming to prop our head up in our hand. Make sure both hips as well as shoulders are stacked, please. You're going to squeeze that ball, and then at the same time, lift both legs up away from the ground. Good. Use your exhale to lift, please. Your inhale to lower. This is so fantastic. We're working kind of in opposition here, so we have to think about it. Here's 3, 2. Now I want you to pause at the top. That bottom leg tries to pop that ball. That top leg just stays where it is. Little squeeze in. And use that staccato exhale if you choose. Here's 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and remove that ball, please. You're going to come to let that lower leg come all the way on the ground. And then it's a lift of that top leg and join the bottom. And lift and join. Exhale as you rise. Inhale as you lower. Work in the side of that seat, please. Here's 3, 2, and 1. So nice. And we're moving into that side lift. So tucking that ball underneath the hip. Again, you can either come side saddle, or you can take that top leg even long, but do promise me that you're gonna keep it on the ground. It is gonna want to lift. Just on my tippy fingers, and I'm going to lower down with my shoulders squared, and it's an exhale that lifts me up. I'm primarily using, again, the strength of my waist. This is not about the shoulders or the arms. This is about the side of your waist. Pressing up with those obliques. You got it. This is so good for you. With Pilates, we move the spine in every direction it was designed to move in. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Before we move into our supine series, I want you to come all the way onto your chest. I'm going to take a couple of series in our swan pose now. So we'll get super heavy with the legs. Legs will stay on the ground for this one. We're going to take the arms out to the side, so the elbows are a little wider than the shoulders and a little further forward than the shoulders. And from here, you're going to take your chest all the way down. So if your chest doesn't quite make it to the ground, just take the elbows a little wider or further forward. It just depends on how tight you're feeling today. Exhale, firm up your middle back and press the hips down into the ground as you lift that chest up. Inhale, you'll send that chest and forehead back down onto the mat. Exhale and rise. Inhale and release. This is doing such wonderful things for your posture, strengthening the back of your body. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. From here, let's find a little counter pose, finding our shell pose, sending those hips back over the heels, reaching fingertips forward. And our supine work is next. So we're gonna roll over onto our booties, and we're gonna take our earthquake ab series. We've got a lot of fun stuff planned for you here, so get excited. That ball comes behind the low back, please. You're gonna kind of wedge it in there. It's really low, kind of wedge underneath the tailbone. And remember, we want that ball to be fairly deflated, particularly for these earthquake ab series, so it's not completely blown up. Want a little give to it. So from here, we're gonna start to take a simple chest lift. So we're gonna lower down only until we feel those abs start to turn on a little bit. And then we reach it right back up. So arms can be right in front of the shoulders. You got it. Exhale as you rise. Inhale as you return back. Now let's see what happens if we were to take those arms up to the ceiling. Whoa! That may have caused a little bit of a reaction, a situation in your abdominals. So you can choose if you want to continue to reach those fingertips up, but my goodness, it's going to do wonders for you. It's so good. Now I want you to pause at the bottom. So we're coming as far back as we can without disengaging in the ribs. So if you notice that you're arching your back, then at that point we've gone too far. We've taken the work out of the abdominals. So we want to still draw those ribs in. Let's do 1-inch pulses. Now again, fingertips can be reaching up, or we can take them in front of us. Good. Just a little lift up. It's so slow. I know, but you're doing so well. Let's do 3. Here's 2, 1, let's peel it all the way up to the top just for a little breather. Our alternating knee taps or toe taps, are next. So we're gonna reach it back into the bottom section of that chest lift. Arms come up overhead this time. And then exhale, take the right knee in towards the chest as you come upright with the torso. Inhale as you lean back into the ball, set that foot down. Exhale, take it to the other side. Good. So we're maintaining that 90-degree bend in the knees at the entire time. We're just moving that knee closer towards the chest and back away. So nice. Let's do 1 more each side, please. Perfect. Let's peel all the way up, grab onto those legs, give yourself a little bit of a breather. And from here, we're returning to those earthquake abs. So finding our way kind of centered back at the lower edge of that. Now we're going to add a rotation here. So we're going to find our bow and arrow, sweeping the right arm back as you can pick your gaze over that back right thumb. At the same time though, we're going to extend the left shin up at a diagonal, but knees stay parallel. So we're just lifting it up at a diagonal. And then as you come up in center, place that leg back down on the ground, rotate in the opposite direction, and you're lifting that opposite leg. Good, come up and center each time. Try the other side. Let's do one more for good measure, each direction. Perfect. And come all the way up. Oh, that feels good. All right, we are moving into our roll up, and you've got a couple of different options. So option number one is to extend the legs out long, hold onto that ball, and use that as a tiny bit of a counterweight, a little bit of a guidance to find your roll up. So we're peeling down one vertebrae at a time. We're pulling the abdominals in when they want to pop up, and then slowly lowering with control. Head is the last thing, maybe reaching that ball behind you, and then taking it back up. Good. So legs stay, of course, on the ground the entire time for our Pilates roll up. That's the challenge. If you don't quite have your roll up today, no problem. We would practice first the top half, just coming down as low as you can, and then lifting back up. And then you would find that lower half practice coming up as far as you're able to, and then back down. However, because I labeled this as an advanced practice, I want to give a very advanced option, and we'll see if I can do it today or not. It's pretty advanced. We're going to take that ball underneath the ankles. Yes, so we have even more instability now under those feet, and we take our roll up with those feet elevated. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's still find that control though, please. This is Pilates after all. Yes, and then let's see how it feels to come all the way up. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, so we do the best we can. We find the modification or the progression that works the best for us. And then we'll find two more, please. Super slow, relying on that exhale to fuel this movement. Last one, finishing up. So good. Just a couple more things to do here before we cool down, please. Our double leg stretch is next. We're going to come onto our back. That ball is going to come between the ankles. So we hug the knees in just like we would for a double leg stretch, but we maintain that little pressure against that ball with the wall of our ankles. We wrap our hands around the knees, and then we're going to extend those legs out at a diagonal as we lift it up, and then exhale, draw it in. Inhale, open, send those legs away. Exhale, draw everything together. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, hug it in. Let's do one more, please. So good. From here, we're going to press up into a little bit of a bridge position. That ball is going to come below the tailbones. It's pretty low. You're going to kind of take your arms out to the sides if you needed a little bit more assistance with this. We're coming into our lower end lift. So send those legs up to the sky, please. And let's actually take an external rotation for this one. So toes will fan open, heels together. As we lower those legs, no more than a 45-degree angle. You want to make sure those ribs are still knit together, so they're pulling in and exhaling back out to the ceiling. Good, inhaling and lowering. Exhale and rise. Continuing this, just kind of playing with your edge of how low you can go without losing the engagement, the closeness of those ribs. They want to stay pulled in. Here's two. Here's one. So good. All right, I have saved the best for last. You're gonna love this one. We're coming into our bridge, but this time we're going to bridge with our feet on the ball. Yep, you heard right. So wedge those feet side by side, right on the top of that ball. So we're pressing the sole of the feet down as opposed to flexing. Yep. And then let's see how it feels to lift those hips up. Oh goodness. Maybe you're not lifting quite as high as you would in your normal bridge. I would expect that to be the case. I'm not either. And rest those hips back down. Good, moving through a few more cycles of this. Goodness gracious. If you were really feeling fiery from that bridge position, you could start to roll that ball forward onto the backs of the calves and then squeeze it back in. Oh my goodness. Only if you felt like this was a good idea. Yowza. Playing here for 10 more seconds, whichever version you're taking. Whew. Continue to breathe, please. Awesome. Let's take the feet off of the ball. Now we're going to move that ball underneath the tailbone, and we are moving into a well-deserved cool down. We are going to shift our focus from that contraction, that effort, into a state of release. So that should feel super nice. Ball wedges completely under the tailbone, lifting those legs up to the sky, please. We're going to take a little straddle out to the side. And then maybe flex the feet as you connect the legs. Good. Point and send those legs away from each other. And then flex and return. We'll do that one more time. Perfect. From here, let's point and flex the feet. Rolling them out in circles in one direction. And then the other. Good. From here, we're coming into just a nice little release. So you can either take the soles of the feet down onto the ground and just stay here in your supported bridge. If you wanted a little bit more for the hips, you could take the soles of the feet together, allow those knees to fall open to the side. Or if you really are just craving a little bit more traction for your back, you could send the legs completely long on the mat. Arms come out to the sides to keep you super stable, removing any need to control or exert any contraction of the muscles. You're just honoring yourself for what your body's able to do. You just sustained a really vigorous practice. It's pretty amazing. Just giving yourself some gratitude that your body is able to do whatever it did today, whether or not it was perfect. We are not looking for perfect. It just matters that you showed up here today and that you're working on your body. You're saving that time for yourself so that you can continue to stay as free as possible from any pains, that you can feel happy and do all the things that are important to you. And from here, you can stay here if you'd like, but I'm going to go ahead and take my hips off of that ball, roll up like a ball 3 times, and come up to seated. I am so proud of you. That was amazing. And it will be my honor to guide you through the next level of your wellness makeover. So I put together some goodies for you. I have my Wellthy Boss starter kit that is completely free, and it includes a bonus workout, a yoga and cardio circuit bonus workout that you can't find here on YouTube, as well as my monthly fitness goal setting worksheet and a month's worth of low carb, high protein, make ahead breakfast recipes that you can make once for the whole week in 10 minutes or less. So don't forget to download that at wellthyboss.com/starter kit. If you enjoyed this workout, would you please do me a favor and give it a little thumbs up? And I'd also love to hear about your experience with it, if these movements were challenging or which ones were your favorite. So drop me a comment below. I would love to know who I'm working out with. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can get that new workout next week.